My name's David Brown. I go by Dave. My rank was Lieutenant Colonel when I retired. I retired in '82, and I served in Vietnam both as an advisor, and then I extended 6 months to become a company commander for a rifle company. In Vietnam, my time serving as an advisor was interesting because it was like at a regional headquarters, and it was a Marine advisory team near the South China Sea, and so there was always intended amphibious operations, and so we were there to help coordinate those. I was a psychological operations officer and advisor, so I did a lot of things with helping the community needs and things like that, including teaching school and things like that. Taught them English and whatever else. As an advisor, it was not that hard. It was a lot of fun. Working with the Vietnamese, everything I did was fun. I went on combat patrols as well as singing down with the villagers and things like that. I had to memorize a couple songs, and I know the villagers always laughed as heartily as you could imagine when I sang it, but it was always a lot of fun, and I thought the world of it enough to say that I really wasn't satisfied. I didn't get enough combat, and I wanted to go up north and join the Marines up there and get a rifle company, and I just did that and extended. I went up north and joined Fox Company, 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines. Specific memory would be Christmas, maybe up there in the mountains with the rifle company. I can remember that. I had just got promoted to major, and I stayed as a company commander, and guess what? Santa Claus came. After all the deaths we had 27 Marines killed in that 6 months, and 127 or 150, I think it was, were wounded, at least same people maybe once or twice, and a lot of that, and all of a sudden CH-34 brought in Santa Claus, and he had all sorts of presents for my men. We were isolated up there in the mountains, and that was unbelievable, and we all laughed and had such a good time. It was a nice relief. To keep going, how did I motivate myself to keep going? It was very easy. I was rifle company commander. Don't need any more company. You're totally responsible. We're out there by ourselves. I'd see the colonel, who was a battalion commander, probably once a week for about 3 hours. The rest of the time we were isolated completely by ourselves. I was the person in charge, I was the person responsible, and I was the person to make sure everybody comes home and also defeat the enemy, so motivation was not an issue. When I returned to the United States, I felt good. I had a very successful tour. I was going to go to amphibious warfare school. I knew the war was going to continue, and I was inspired that I had done everything I could, and that my people that captains and majors that went to the amphibious warfare school, they all had done their thing, and so I was with the heroes back in Quantico, so it was very good. I will assure you that being a rifle company commander in combat with Marines and being as effective as we were, it was my favorite job. So therefore, everything I did there, I more or less emulate today, or try to repeat today. Motivation, the instructions, the support, the empathy, all those items I bring to the work today, to the table today. It was a good war, and we accomplished a lot. I think we defeated communism over there. Our resolve in Vietnam as American fighting force was unquestionably outstanding, and surely there was problems at home, but among the American fighting force, our Soviet counterparts really knew that they were against a potential enemy that would be unforgiving with them. So our resolve there in that war, we were pulled out early, like the Sergeant Major just said. Our resolve was great, and we had the weapons, and they had nothing, and they had an army that was worth anything. And so it was that weakness in the Soviet armor that made that Berlin Wall collapse, and I believe that we got a lot out of it, and that's how I feel about it. Well, I meet with them every 2 years at the, we have reunions, so I just met with them in Gettysburg last summer, and it was really outstanding. What did I say to them? About the same thing I'm saying now. They're great guys. that keep on plugging, and we loved each other, and we would fight today if we given a chance, and march on just as Fox Company did in 50 years ago. Best job I've ever had in my life, Fox 25.
Hi, my name is Joseph Houle. I retired as a Marine Sergeant Major. In my time in Vietnam, I went over as a corporal, come back as a sergeant in Mike Company, 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines. It was very, it was scary. If you want, back then it's not like today. Back then I went over as a replacement. We didn't leave as a unit. I showed up when I got to Vietnam. I was immediately become the squad leader to a squad I'd never met before. In 12 hours after I met the squad, I was on my very first patrol with 8 men that I had no idea who they were. The hardest part was the unknown. Going into a strange country, meeting new Marines that you never met before, and just going on patrol in an area that you had nothing, you didn't know, and you didn't know who to trust or who you could tell. They all looked alike. They all wore black pajamas. I felt good. My country sent me over there. I went over there to do a job as a Marine and to support the United States of America and the Marine Corps. We motivated each other by taking care of each other, doing our utmost not to get somebody killed or wounded, and accomplish the mission whenever we were given one. When I landed home, I was treated like I was called baby killer, all kinds of names. I didn't come back to the same America that I left. Away from the airport, when I got home, I was treated like a hero in my hometown. But before I got to my hometown, it wasn't nice. I learned a lot from the Vietnam War. It impacted me how to treat people, take care of other people. I think we should have never left with a job that wasn't finished in Vietnam. It's just made me a better person. I grew up in the battlefields of Vietnam. Keep the faith. We as a nation are take care of other people, okay? But when we start a job, don't give up on it. Thank you and welcome home. Well, I think the first thing that comes to my mind is that when we were in Iraq, we were winning and doing a lot of great things with the schools and the minds of the people. And then we left Iraq. We did the same thing in Vietnam. We were winning and had the minds of the young people of Vietnam, and we were building schools and whatever, and then we left them to someone else. That's what I think of. That, you know, we start something, we need to finish it. It hurts like the devil. I will say that when I got wounded, I left my position to help. My mate gunner got hit. I jumped in the position to help the machine gunner, and I got hit in the same place he did.